meditation when it's taken is the fastest way to succeed in life, have a greater experience in life. One of the main reasons why people drop out of meditation is they have a lot of thought.
Yes, they cannot sit quiet because they believe that whenever they sit, they would just go blank. I feel, sir, that meditation makes you respond, not react.
Awareness is there. In every situation, you're able to pause before you react based on the past. Your subconscious program slowly be identified and say, why am I limiting myself? There is a potential of infinity. Should I be on this? But it requires awareness. Meditation requires awareness. So slowly you change. When you let go of the body and mind, which is tying you into this physical frequency through senses, then you're suddenly in this infinite frequency world, because in science we learn we are energy or matter. There is energy and matter.
Meditation help you manifest your dreams.
You can dream it, you can see it. So you dreamt and dreamt, and so you saw. The magic is in when you empty the mind, body gets regulated, goes into coherence. And when body is coherent, we're not interfering, it's an intelligent system. And so it'll heal itself.
Hello everyone, a very warm welcome on the show, and this is your host Rangoli Sharma. Before starting the podcast, do let me know from which part of the world are you watching this podcast. And I'm sure that today's podcast will help you a lot in your spiritual journey, because today we dive deep into the depths of meditation. I'm sure so many of my viewers have a meditation background. Meditation is a regular part of their lives, and I'm sure you might have evolved a lot in your meditation journey. Today's podcast will give you an insight into the depths of meditation. We discuss how does meditation rewire your brains, how does it changes your aura, your energy field, how can you better manifest things in your life with the help of meditation. Can you also tap into your past lives, or can you also envision future with the help of meditation? See, meditation can do a lot of wonders into your life only if you accept it. This is the podcast for you, which will define you the beauty of meditation and why you should make it a regular part of your life. And you know what makes it more special? A very special guest has joined me today for this particular session. He is a meditation coach, he's a corporate executive, and he's also the founder of Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation. I would like to welcome Dr. Chandra Pulamarasetti on Speaking Tree. Chandra sir, a very warm welcome on the show.
Thank you, Rangoli madam. This is wonderful to be back here with you, all of you. My gratitude to Speaking Tree and all the management, to you for doing this together. Quite excited.
So I'm sure that today's podcast is going to be a very insightful discussion, because today we are diving deep into the depths of meditation. Sir, I do believe that people highly have this notion about meditation, that meditation is all about emptying your mind. But we don't think about the very fact that how meditation is actually the fastest way to fail. So as I begin this podcast, I want to start with the very idea that what are the biggest myths around meditation and what are the biggest mistakes that people do when they are in their meditation journey. So let's start with that.
Okay, wonderful. First of all, I would like to say it's the fastest way to succeed. Number one. Meditation is the fastest way to succeed in life. But it is the most fastest way people think it's difficult, and so then I'm not going to continue the practice because it's only for special people. If that's what you intended and said, fastest way to fail means is where people give up very quickly.
Exactly.
But then meditation when it's taken is the fastest way to succeed in life, have a greater experience in life. Okay. So you're right. One of the biggest myths is that, meditation, it is to be done in a special area, special place. Meditation is for special people. You got to have realize everything in life, then only you can do meditation, right? And then meditation is one of the most difficult things. My thoughts are there, so there's no way I can sit down. I can't just keep my eyes closed for even 1 minute. How can I sit for longer? So it's not possible. Then meditation means that I'm going to renounce my life, and so then I've got all the life going. And so that's why many parents are very hesitant and worried when children take up to meditation and say, are these guys going to leave and then go or what? And so they try to avoid, especially to the girl child, they don't want them to take up meditation. And so these are some of the myths that meditation means that you are now getting into this touchy subject of, all many things will come inside, some soul, some ghost, some this, some that, will they be able to know? I don't understand a lot of that stuff, and so should I even be getting that side at all? Okay. So this fun and meditation means it is only old age time.
Only like.
Why is it now?
old-age
It is
people.
basically attributed to renouncing life. Okay,
Yes.
some Hare Rama, Hare Krishna time you say, basically, okay, you got time, you don't have anything to do, then you go to meditation, go to bhajans, go to Gita. This is how people consider meditation. I used to have the same belief, but here is the thing between you and I, right? Experiences is what people take to. Theory, everybody tells. You tell the theory, I tell the theory, Raju tells the same theory.
True.
Right, I'm just saying. In our foundation, when we share personal experience because a lot of times we tend to mask it and then talk about theory. Then 10 people speak the same. There's no difference. The stories, which is what make people say, okay, that person is like me, but then he is able to go, then I too can go. The relatability comes. That's why experience goes to the heart and theory goes to the mind, and mind is forgotten. Just as a thing, but however, we'll do it the way you want it. That's a different thing. Okay. All right. So there are so many myths like this which make people stop meditation or not go into meditation because they themselves conclude. It's called a subconscious belief. It's called a program in our subconscious mind that is telling them based on past things which they judged and then have it and said, okay, this is how it is, and so I don't think I can do it. So they concluded in their mind before even they started, and so they stop themselves.
So now that we talked about some of the biggest myths around meditation, what do you think are the biggest mistakes that people also do?
Mistakes means when they start meditation, one of the main reasons why people drop out of meditation is they have a lot of thought.
Yes, they cannot sit quiet because they believe that whenever they sit, they would just go blank. And that doesn't really happen because, your mind always keeps wandering here and there.
Correct. So the guidance is that you go quieter, you transcend your body and mind. For that, you empty the mind or you go quieter. Now, when the guidance is there, suddenly that's what they record and say, okay, I need to be quiet. I need to be empty in the mind. Now you have full of thought and thought and thought. And so then what do they come to the conclusion and say, it is difficult for me, it's not possible for me, right? So they drop out. This is one big reason why many people drop out of meditation very quickly, thinking that they can't do, right? They've just not understood the requirement there. Okay, the second mistake is in meditation, we get experiences. When we get these experiences, we end up latching on to the experience. Experience is transient. Okay, experience happens. Then you move beyond them by not holding on to them, say, oh, they are getting, I'm not getting. So I don't think I'm practicing meditation. So many people get discouraged and stop. Some people have some experience of body sensation, movement, some kind of out of the body, some visions, all of that. Others don't get. And so they feel like, a little disappointed because comparing and then stop. There are two primary reasons why many people will start meditation, but then they drop out of meditation. Whether you call it mistake or not due to their limited understanding, they do this.
Sir, here I also want to touch upon the neuroscience behind meditation. Like what really happens in your brain? How does your brain revise itself when you're meditating for a longer time?
Okay, so a few things here. Our brain and there is a mind. There are two aspects, right? Brain is the tissue. Mind is the brain in action. Now, brain is divided at a high level, we can say from a neuroscience, into three areas. One is this big part of the brain, the whole thing. It's like the whole skull, but then the whole of this brain is called the outer brain or the neocortex, a scientific term. Then inside, think of it as your brain is always covering it, but right in the middle of the brain, that means if you take here, a line from this side to this side, and then a line from here to here. These two lines go and intersect, so that is the center of the brain, midbrain. From here, just around the ears here, and then the third eye point, what we call, which is beginning of the nose, and from back exactly straight. That's the midbrain. There is a small lemon-shaped sized small area. It's called limbic brain. The outer brain, neocortex, is called rational brain or thinking brain. Humans possess it big way. Animals rarely have. That's why elephant, for example, so for its size, its head is just flat. Human, their size, it's pretty big. right? An elephant, even though. So the small is developed a little bit, but not a lot. Many animals don't have it. Humans have a big neocortex called rational thinking brain.
Yes.
The creative.
Rational thinking brain.
Rational brain, a thinking brain, creative brain, learning brain, all that happens. We learn, we read. Animals don't read. There's no such thing as them. But we read and we learn through senses. So it's all here. Because humans are a creative being and many things can be done. The second brain is the limbic brain, is a scientific word. It is from our normal language it's called feelings brain. So you work based on feelings. It's all there, long-term memory and then feeling center. That's there in this brain. It works through memories that are there. Based on that, you come to a conclusion. And so then if I look at you, and then if you gave me a tough time, then I look at it and say, oh, Rangoli is going to give me a real tough time. So let me just avoid. I would have made to a conclusion in my mind that, okay, let me just avoid. That means, oh, you're coming in and walk somewhere else. That's called, based on a past feeling and memory, it is acting.
Yes.
Okay, that's the second brain. All right. And the third one is a reptile brain, which is connected to our vertebra, and then it's taking care of all body's autonomous functions like blood circulation and then lung expansion and contraction. Thankfully, we don't touch it. All right. So now what's happening? What's happening now? 90% of the economic research, 90% of our life events are driven through this tiny limbic brain or the feeling center. Tiny feeling center, just tiny, it's a small thing. That's what drives 90% of life experiences. The big part of the brain, which is like humans' gift to consciously create something, to go in and create experience of new, like, all the technology or this or that, whatever that we are creating is all there in human conscious brain, which we are only using a tiny part of it. Our experience of life, less than 10% come from there. 90% coming from this second brain or midbrain. It's like driving or cooking. When you learn driving, initially you learn, it all happens through conscious learning. Eventually it gets recorded in the subconscious. So next time when you're driving, you several times you say, oh, I reached already office. How did I go last 30 minutes I drove? You don't even remember when you took turn, did you have a traffic or not? Because you have just gone through an autopilot mechanism happens because the subconscious brain learns. So that means the skill is there. It quickly learns, it quickly does it for you automatically. And so now, coming back to your original question, now by the way, these two brains are called conscious mind, subconscious mind. The inside one is called subconscious mind. This is called conscious. That means you're consciously aware of doing things. Subconscious means you're not aware and you're just doing things automatically. Here you're consciously aware. Now 90% of life is through the subconscious mind where things are set in there. I see you, oh, great person, let's go and then say hi. I see you, a difficult person, let's escape. Those are instant reactions, come based on a past memory wiring. Okay, so they're called subconscious beliefs, programs they're called. Now, we need to look into them to say, do I have a program that is limiting me or that is expanding me? Now, you may be a difficult person about last time I interacted. Now you may be a different person. Completely. But then I'm operating based on my past. And so then I limit myself there, right? So now we don't have awareness that when that person is showing up, the subconscious operates in a split-second response and things happen without even knowing. So we need an awareness to help us to pause before we react to that situation.
Yes.
That awareness is required.
Exactly.
And this awareness is not there. Meditation builds that awareness.
And somewhere I feel, sir, that meditation makes you respond, not react.
Right.
When you
so when that awareness is there, the moment you build that awareness, what is awareness in that moment? Knowing that, wait a minute, rather than just going away, that may be pause, but now may be different. So let's just be pause and then still go and say hi. That awareness to know that, okay, I can stop and then go. So awareness is required. When you are very stressed, when we are very stressed, when we are running around in the day to day, the conscious brain activities, there is a small area in the conscious brain called which is about responsible for awareness. And that awareness area, other areas also are slowly diminishing in their activity because you're too stressed, thinking past, thinking future, worries, anxieties, everything. And this is all how we take it. And so when that is active, awareness center is becoming less and lesser. And meditation, as it quietens the mind, then it builds awareness. And so when the awareness is there, in every situation you're able to pause before you react based on the past. If you know how to change your behavior at that point, if you know what is a new way of responding, then you will implement that. Okay, what is the new way of responding? If you came across as a tough person before, maybe you should change person. Let me say hi and then just keep quiet, not say more. Maybe that's a way. One way of responding, right? Another way of responding, give something and go away, maybe. So we need to know how to respond differently, and you need to have awareness. That awareness has to build, which is what meditation plays a big role in telling you that your reaction can become a response, because all it requires, when your colleague did not do the work right, one is to say 3 times he delayed it, this time also say this fellow always does it, and then shout and then go. Another is to step back and say, wait, last 3 times may be different, maybe this time may be different reason. Let me ask what is the real reason before we do. So pause and say, okay, so how come you missed it again? You may say, my mother is really sick, that's why I couldn't do it. The reason last time may be different, so now we cannot be penalized based on the past.
Exactly.
So that pause is required, meditation with the pause.
So it gives you that pause.
Gives you that pause.
Sir, when does one really start evolving in their meditation journey? And by that, I mean to ask, is like, what is that phase of meditation when one is able to even tap into their past lives, or they can, have an idea about future? Is it also possible by reaching to a high level of meditation? And who can reach? Who has that capability is what I want to ask you.
Okay, so now you've gone to a big subject from here to there.
Yes.
Okay. But I would like to complete before we go there. If 90% of our life is driven through our subconscious programs, where I'm not good, I can't do, people are like this, my office is like this, companies, life is difficult, politicians are like this, everything is a belief we put into. And how do you form these beliefs? Just by experiencing once or twice. You go into a government office, I don't know, you meet somebody, a politician, I don't know, some leader, and then they didn't respond the way expected. Then you suddenly see a media article, something it says, I don't know, some research paper, okay, all people are not necessarily doing great, some social media article. So then you experience one, another thing that comes to you, then you come to a conclusion and say, yeah, these people are not good. You come to a conclusion. Now you formed a belief. Just by 2-3 events, it became a general belief that people are not good, right? It could be first are men, then slowly it becomes generalized. So we fall into a generalization trap and makes the belief right here. Okay, we fail 2 times, we come to a conclusion, I'm not good at decision making. 2 times. We failed, suppose, and then whatever we tried didn't work. Then somebody makes a comment in family, yeah, so you're always making mistakes. But then we come to, somebody said, you always make mistakes. My parents said, who are you give out of respect? When they say particularly, because they also don't know what they're saying, then it impacts us. And as a result, then we take that as a serious thing and say, okay, I can't make decisions. Which means the next time when an opportunity comes to you, you will push it away. This is how you push away your opportunity, because you made a conclusion that I can't make decisions, and then because of some issues happened before, you come to the real conclusion, I can't take it, and you don't take opportunity because you feel that it's going to impact people again. So what we need to do is to first understand that what programs do I have?
Yes, absolutely.
What programs do I have which are limiting me? It's called limiting beliefs. 90%. So we need to fix that. If you fix that, your life changes. If 90% is about I can't do, I'm not good, people are like this, complaining, or no, you come judge about yourself, then you limit your potential. Now, on the contrary, in Vedic system, and then in entire spiritual science and spirituality, is said that you are the whole, you are the existence. In quantum physics, we call it quantum energy field.
You have the whole cosmos within you.
Within you, and then so that's the understanding. And in science and quantum physics, you can tell that everything is one single field of energy. You and I ultimately composed of elements which are inside electrons, neutrons. Now, quantum physics discovered 100 years ago that even those electrons, neutrons, protons are also energy by default. So everything in our body is all energy. Everything around is energy. This is quantum physics, a proper science. Now, how does the energy show up as matter? Observation. The double-slit experiments are there. So through observation, in spiritual science, it's called yad bhavam tad bhavati.
Yad bhavam tad bhavati.
Yad bhava, as your bhava is tad bhavati, that's what happens. Okay. And or ya mati sa gathir bhavid. This is from Uttar Gita shloka. Okay. And so Yamati, as your buddhi is, then sa gatir buddhi, your beauty, the thing is there. So it's called no thoughts create reality, law of attraction, all these things are there. But it comes from a quantum physics concept. It comes from a placebo research concept, which is scientifically. Placebo research is people who believe that what you believe is what you create, right? They've done plenty of research about anesthesia, people who have, let's say, asthma, breathing issues. Then they give them inhaler, tell them and say, hey, I'm giving you inhaler, which is going to relieve, because it's got some, you are having condition, it's going to give you something, it's going to relieve. But instead they give medication which is going to increase the thing, increase the asthmatic flare-up. But when they take it, they actually get relieved, as opposed to having the flare, because they believe that what they're taking is a medication to reduce it, but even though they are administering, they're giving something that's going to flare it up. So what you believe it creates. So there is placebo research, there is this quantum physics thing to say that our thoughts create reality. And so people who have these limitations in their mind, saying that I can't do, it's not possible, my life is like this, my stance is like that, my background is poor, and so then I can't. Some people say, no, you try to apply for a job. No, I don't have an IIM degree or no IITs, so I don't think I can get a job in Google. Our Times of India requires special thing, so I don't. You stop yourself.
Exactly.
All right. On the other hand, you say that everything is possible within me. You understand that, and limitation is a subconscious belief which we have to remove. So meditation is a great way to recognize what my limitations are. The limitations are like truths, so you can't come out of them. It's a truth, it's a false truth, because everybody says, if you don't have IIT degree, it's difficult to get in there. Everybody says, so you believe that it's a truth.
Limiting yourself.
But you think it is a truth, so it's difficult to identify and say it's a limitation, because everyone says the same. You understand? There's a difference between negative thought and a limitation, because it became a truth in the world. 8 hours of sleep is required every day.
People say that, yes.
8 hours of sleep is required.
Everyone should have a proper 8 hours.
8 hours, 7 to 9 hours is written by medical experts. Now, of course, we give so much authority. When medical experts say 7 to 9 hours, we also fundamentally believe.
Yes.
Right? But then there are people who sleep for 1 hour, 2
Exactly.
hours, 4 hours. So then how is that they're doing in the same body? But
How
then
are they
someone's
surviving? Yes, exactly.
It's called mind to matter. We understand that what you try. Now, when I came into meditation, I was a strong thing that, okay, I have to sleep for 8 to 9 hours. I was westernized. I lived there, plenty of it is written, all that read. But after coming to meditation today, I consistently sleep for 4 to 5 hours. All right?
So, sir, now that you mentioned about sleep, so many people think that a good meditation routine can also replace your sleep. As you rightly said, that if you have a sleep for 2-3 hours and if you meditate for 2-3 hours, you can compensate for that. Like, is there some fact behind it? Do you think
because what happens in meditation, it takes you into this delta state, which is called the sleep state. Theta, delta states are the brain waves. They call the sleep states. Okay? When the brainwave frequencies, all the stressfuls are drop and then go down, then you have a few things which are called low frequency thoughts, theta and delta. They're this sleep state. Delta is almost zero frequency. Deep sleep, without dreams. Theta is with the dreams state. Now, both are sleep states where body is recovering and resonating. Now, meditation takes you to the same state straight. It is a shortcut. It takes you sit down and close your eyes, and as you consciously observe the breath to go into the empty states, then you are automatically dropping, regulating the breath, and then body become coherent, and then mind is going lowering its states into the lower and lower. So you go into the sleep state and you hover in the deep sleep state. Okay? And so then you are there in the deep sleep state equivalent to sleep. And so if you look at the medical experts say that every day night you need at least 2 NREM cycles, non-rapid eye movement sleep. That means the deep sleep. 2 cycles are required for the body to rejuvenate. Meditation takes you there, which means what you can do in 8 hours, now here with a good meditation that you take you into the deepest states, 1 to 2 hours can compensate for a lot of sleep. 1 to 2 hours of meditation compensates for a lot of sleep, depending on how stronger, deeper meditations are going on for you. So I saw that benefit in me, and I experimented. And then since then, as an executive, then corporate executive, who doesn't want the time? Do you want time? Do you want time that you feel like, oh, my time is less? Then I say, initially it's difficult and say, who will take half an hour for meditation? I don't have time. But then once you go into meditation, you will recognize that you will gain a lot of time, because sleep is reduced, unwanted stuff that you remove. Things that you just spend unnecessarily flipping through many things, you have awareness. And so you change unwanted things, unwanted conversations. Every day you go to the office and take a coffee mug and spend, let's say, half an hour in the cafeteria. Traffic, weather, politics, real estate, is it going to add value? Meditation brings that awareness to remove things that do not add value to us. Instead, you directly go to what enhances value, let you back focus on your goals, things that you would like to experience. That's how your subconscious program slowly be identified and say, why am I limiting myself? There is a potential of infinity. Should I be on this? But it requires awareness. Meditation requires awareness. So slowly you change. You transform, your life changes because 90% is here.
Absolutely.
90% is changing. So naturally, it feels like everything is changing. Okay?
Beautifully said.
Now going back to the question of astral travel, we understand a little bit about what happens a little bit in meditation, or what is this astral travel concept.
Yes. And how does it, meditation makes you go there?
Right. When there is, let's say, a owl or a bat. Now, you know, bats can hear that you can't hear. They can see things that you can't see. Do you say then that the things that see do not exist, or they exist? You know that they exist. Some sounds animals are able to sense very early on, which we can't able to sense through an energy state and the feeling they receive, right? At a very low, human ear can hear 20 hertz to 20,000 frequency. Anything above and below, it can't hear. Doesn't mean that lower frequencies do not exist. So they all exist. Mm-hmm. You want to understand this as a frequency that we can tune into with a certain limitation of the human body. Eyes can only see less than 0.1% of the overall spectrum of light that is there, our eyes. You know, we can't see X-rays. We can't see radio waves, which are this side and that side of the spectrum. Doesn't mean that they're not there. X-rays, beautifully required to go and see what is there. Radio waves, with the unharmful, they are there. For ultrasonic waves, unharmful. For babies, they're ultrasonic.
Yes.
That waves is low. Waves that are, which are not harmful, but then they also sense and tell you something, that an object is there. That means, okay, baby is growing and not growing, which is harmful. So, but they are there. But we can't sense them, we can't see them. But doesn't mean that they're not there. So then we're talking of, there's an 100% frequency or infinite frequency out there, because 100% means infinite frequency, right? How many FM stations can be there? 91.1, 91.11, 90.12, like that you can go to any number, right?
Yes.
Like that, the frequency is, if you go and say any number is possible, then frequencies are infinity. But we, as physical being, we can only see some with physical sensory perceptions, okay? But then everything exists. Now, this is called an altered sets of frequencies that are there if only you have a way to sense into them, if only you have to experience them. Okay. Physical body, you are limited by what you can see based on the eye or the ears, way they are designed. Then you got to leave them. If you leave them and then go to the altered state, then of course then you experience that is what is out there. Okay. As long as in the body, you are with this, you are a sensory being, so always you're looking from ears or seeing, eyeing, eyes or smell or touch. That's how you're trying to experience everything, right? Sure. And so that has to be removed. Okay? Your mind has got a thought, which is also holding you, binding you into the form. Because what is mind is telling, okay, I have a meeting. That means you've got all the people thinking about which meeting you have to do. That's also hold you in the physical plane. So you got to remove the mind.
Absolutely.
And then you got to remove the body or the senses. That's why meditation is about withdrawing senses, and then it's about dropping the thought of the mind, which is holding you here. So when you do these two, then you sort of let go of the material earth frequency, let's say planet earth frequency, or the physical frequency. When you let go of it, then where are you? This is where the quantum physics concept comes. When you let go of the body and mind, which is tying you into this physical frequency through senses, then you're suddenly in this infinite frequency world, because in science we learn we are energy or matter. There is energy and matter. Energy becomes matter. E equal to mc square, energy becomes matter. There are only two in quantum physics. It's all energy or some matter is there. Energy to matter is through observation. So, but whatever, there are two states. When matter is forgotten, what are you? And you are in this field of energy, that infinite frequency world. Okay. It happens in sleep, where you're forgetting about yourself completely. All right? And so you slip into, now what is the states called? That theta delta states, very, very, very low frequency thoughts, almost non-existent. And so then you're connecting into beyond your physical sensory perception, beyond physical identity, you're connecting to everything else out there. Then you're tuning into what's out there. Okay. And so because of which, then you are experiencing something different than what you experience. We call it dream, and then because we don't know, we dismiss them. But then they are beautiful way of seeing into the other frequency worlds. One part of it you got to understand. They are seeing they are experiencing the 100% frequency, because when you forgot the matter, then you are the energy. Energy is all, including the matter in it. So you're experiencing 100% of everything. A small part is the matter, physical aspect of it. A big part is non-physical aspect. That is all there, which you have access to now. Okay. So now, past and future. You talk about go behind and past and future. What is it? Then we have to understand. I brought in this concept of our life is a set of experiences, and they are there in the mind, which is thought and energy, experience. Brain is a tissue which is only for us to experience a certain feeling based on what you are doing, so that we have a feeling of doing something here, right? But that experience, which is in the form of thought or a memory, is in the field of energy. So it is there in the energy field. When I say thought, what is thought? Thought is energy.
Absolutely.
As a frequency. So it is there, originated in this field. Then that is taken as a trigger into the brain, and so then there is a chemical produced for us to feel good, okay, great feeling, or difficult feeling, nice feeling. All that happens for us to experience life at that moment. So our life is nothing but a series of memories and experiences. So they are all sitting there in the field of energy. Now, so they're all there. Our past is there. Childhood memories are there. All right, everything is there. Now we don't recollect. We say we're forgotten, but the actual information is there. Your computer, you stored 1 lakh photos. You're not able to access. Doesn't mean that they're not there. Yes or no? 1 lakh photos are there. You are not able to access them because suppose people don't know how to look at them, they can't access them. You say they're not, but they're all there.
Right.
They're all there for 100 years. Recorded. Yes or no? This computer is stored here. If the computer hard disk is preserved, it will be there for 100 years, 200 years too. Doesn't mean that then 100 years later you say, oh, there is something out there, I can access it. So is the case with our experience. They're always sitting in the energy field as energy, and they need to be accessed in some way. That means we have to go into a plane where we can access them. That means we go into the energy field to access. So meditation takes you to the field of energy. When you let go of your physical experience, you go into the field of energy. When you're there in the field of energy, then you tune into it.
But then, sir, why it doesn't happen to everybody? Like, not why every meditator can reach to that level.
Why should it be?
Because it's
Why
somewhere.
should it be?
Because it's somewhere apart.
Everything based on the practice. Right? Why we are all trying for IAS officer? Why is not everybody becoming IAS officer?
They don't want to.
Huh?
They don't want to.
It's based on the practice.
Yeah.
Right? Based on the practice, some people want to do, but they're not able to do. Why? Because then is where the concept of past karmic connection, some of those will hold them back. We don't see it that way. A parent necessarily may not see a child wanting to really sincerely work, but then a certain past may be holding the child back. But the parent thinks that, okay, he's just not concentrating. They don't know. And they put a lot of stress onto the child and say, you're not concentrating. Look, your parents are able to score. The guy is struggling, his sincere intention is there, but suddenly some health issue comes, suddenly some mind is not able to concentrate. Why? There is a past consequence impact is there, which they don't understand, they put pressure, and this he also doesn't understand, starts self-judging, and so then things don't work right. So the thing is, everybody is working, everybody is always want to give the best. Don't you want to give your best anytime?
Definitely, all the time.
All the time you want to give your best.
Yes.
Understand that every human wants to give their best when it came to. Who wants to fail?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to have good experience. But the sincerity of their doing it, some of the past that is coming in the way for them, so they're not able to go past. So that's why whatever they, in office and everywhere, we all want to do our best, but some go forward, some do not. It's only a temporary measurement at that time, understand it. A deadline has to be reached. Everyone, a marathon, everybody will cross, but you only go to the first 10. If somebody is sincere, everybody will cross a marathon, yes or no?
Yes.
One may do in 1 hour, another will do it in 4 hours, but if you give them the time, they will do it. So understand that if you have sincerity, I will complete. Now, measurement of success or noticing something is based on a certain time period, that's all. We say, okay, first 10 or first 1 hour, whoever done has finished it. Same thing with experience of meditation also, your sincerity matters. Eventually you will do like marathon. If you're sincere, you'll complete the marathon. Understand the same. Everybody is eligible for them because everybody is energy and everybody has got matter. So you transcend the matter, you go into energy, you got to give your time. But there are various conditions of why sometimes you cannot go, somebody else can go faster. That condition is nothing but how much practice you had, if not this lifetime, in a past lifetime.
Exactly.
Okay. If you had a
What
lot of
journey
past
you're
life,
carrying from the previous lives. Yeah.
just like you have some experience here, right? Now, when you go and then take a next job within your group here somewhere, will you start doing the same thing what you've done, let's say, 2 years ago?
Upgraded things, obviously.
You want obviously
Updated.
something
Yes.
newer,
Yeah.
right? And so you start there. Same thing in meditation also. If somebody has practiced enough before, like a job changing when you're doing, and then you want a new job, new role, new experience, same way, where we left is where you start. People who are going to hire you, we're going to take you based on what experience you have, so that they can jump start with something higher. Same thing with meditation, when you start from where you left. And so then beautifully, some are progressing seemingly quickly, some are not. But recognize everybody is on the path. Somebody is a little ahead, somebody is behind. That's all. But everybody will reach if they're sincere and don't abandon. Many people abandon thinking that I don't get an experience, I can't focus on a thought and this and that. Okay, reasons may be many. All they need to do is to understand and sit through the process. The technique is there. We got to just hold on to it. Thoughts are common. So like that.
Sir, from here, now that we talked about the rewiring, when we talk about rewiring, we talk about manifestation also. So how can meditation help you manifest your dreams? Would be my next question.
Yes. So the basis is, I touched upon two concepts of placebo research. Your thoughts create reality is a basis.
Yes.
For that, 3-4 things we talk about generally. One is this quantum physics concepts, double-slit experimentation, observation brings possibilities into reality. Placebo research, which is fundamentally demonstrating that what you believe is what you create. A mother giving just a jeera water to the child in the middle of the night when you say, okay, I'm feeling a stomachache, then obviously you got to run to the doctor. Better you take this and you'll be all right. And they always apply placebo to children, and the children also heal. You know that. They give the placebo. They believe the mother strongly as opposed to what they're taking. And so then things will heal. Mom told it's going to heal, it'll heal. So placebo research is there. Several occasions it is there. What you believe so strongly. And then the third thing is there is a study. What do successful leaders, what is their mind like? And their mind is always said, your thought is, Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can see it. So he dreamt and dreamt. And so he saw. Mahatma Gandhi said, man is nothing but a product of a thought. Okay, so he believed. And he held on to his vision. So successful people they held on to their vision. They had a vision, they held on to the vision, as opposed to succumbing to the circumstances, adversities here. So we can get something. So thoughts create reality is the foundation. Spirituality is yadbhavam tadbhavati. So in many ways we can come to the conclusion that our thoughts have something with reality. Right? Intuitively also many people tell, do you think so? I say, yeah, of course. Negative thought is not going to get us anywhere. Intuitively they tell. That means they already have some inner answers.
Exactly.
So that's the basis. So if thought creates reality, then the manifestation is all about focusing our thought onto what we want. Today I want something. Tomorrow suddenly somebody is having a real estate conversation. Today I say, okay, I would like to build a nice 2-bedroom house and be here. Tomorrow someone says, you know what, that special builder is coming and building some eco-friendly home 20 miles away from there, and it's all starting, oh, maybe not this one, I want that one. Now you suddenly change. Day after tomorrow someone says, okay, Dubai, something special is happening. Oh, I anyway have Dubai job, so I think maybe I should build a Dubai home in Dubai, not here. So we're not sure about what we want, number one. We keep changing. If a goalpost is changing, is it possible to put a dart? It's not possible. First of all, I got to fix what do I want, right? So that mind, which is going here, there, has to come back to paying a little bit of attention to say, what does that really matter to me? What do I want, number one? So is manifestation about focusing your thought onto things you really want. So number one, identify what you really want. Number two, then put your attention and focus onto it, right? Number three, do not limit yourself with those limiting beliefs. Even though you have a vision and a dream that you want to have a house or you want to grow, limiting belief is telling you, I come from a poor background, I don't have enough finances, my salary is so less now, how is it possible? It will take 30 years. It's called linear thinking. But quantum field is saying infinite possibilities. Every possibility can happen, irrespective of what your current circumstance is. So we have to know clearly what I want so that you can really be passionate about it. Then second, you train yourself to train the mind to avoid this randomness, to be focused. Third, look into your subconscious, say what subconscious limitations I have which can hold me back, because they keep projected automatically. Like when you're driving, before realizing that driving skill is ultimately took the turn, saved you, is driving for you, autopilot is happening. If the autopilot is limitation, it will stop you. So you got to look at and say, is my subconscious mind is telling me it's not possible deep inside. I know I'm looking, but am I dreaming? Is it not possible? I don't think so. None of my family members tried, they failed. I don't think I can build a house by myself. It's not possible. I should just rent a little bit and then stay. That subconscious limitation is there, right? So that's one thing. Third thing you have to remove. Okay, some of these techniques are there. All of them take you towards focusing of what you want and then putting your attention on this manifestation. And visualization is a fourth technique around it, which is to increase your energy towards what you want.
Okay.
Visualization is feeling the future before it happens. So you are telling the field that, hey, this is very important for me. You're dreaming and then you are conditioning your body about the future feeling, and you're sending a signal into the quantum field about what you're looking to have. It's like intention you're releasing, but visualization is a powered intention.
And visualization is actually very powerful compared to other techniques of meditation. Is that so?
Visualization is complementary to meditation. It's not a meditation technique.
Okay.
Meditation is to connect to the field. Meditation is to rest your mind so that body, mind are integrated, and then you have health and emotional intelligence and all of it. Meditation, when you rest your mind, then you connect to that infinite frequency field where you draw miracles.
Yeah. So visualization is in a way extension to meditation.
Yeah, it's a complementary process. When you are calm state and you start visualizing about a future, then you're able to go full hog in visualizing without any distraction. So visualization when you're in a calm state is beautiful. Then meditation brings you in a calm state without any distractions. Then visualize. Then so no doubt and no uncertainty comes in visualization. Otherwise visualizing, oh, I don't think it's possible. You yourself will have a doubt. After meditation, regular practice meditation, you're in a calm state, then you're not seeding doubt into visualization. If you see doubt into visualization, that manifests. If you see a negativity visualization, that manifests. Because the field is simply response, positive and it doesn't matter. So visualization is a complementary technique, is best done when you are in a calm state, and meditation is a great way to take you into the calm state is one, and the meditation state which is connected to the field, which is sort of telling you what is important for you.
Lovely.
As a lot of things practice we'll get to know.
So, sir, is it possible that by meditation you can manifest anything that you want, be it a career that you require, be it a person that you want? Then still, why people are not able to manifest certain things?
The only reason is, like I said, first of all, they don't have the focus on what they want. They don't know, so they keep changing their goalpost. So nothing, they cannot reach the goalpost when the goalpost is changing. So that is one thing. Second, there is a notion of time. Everybody has this arbitrary time concept and say it has to happen now. So timing that everyone says, okay, things didn't happen, is the problem when someone says manifestation doesn't happen. One, they're not focused. There are too many things. And so then their energy is dissipated. But still, they're looking for them, so they'll have to find them. Okay? But the timing, if you're searching for something in your home, and if you got half an hour, you don't find and say, oh, it's difficult to find. Somewhere you concluded and say it's difficult to find because you are timed with cascading. But if you continue researching, are you sure you'll find what you're looking for? It is there, you'll find. That item is there, you know. You have to find it. But if you give enough time, you'll find it. And when you know what item is there. Manifesting exact concept. When you are consciousness, everything you're looking for in the field, you just got to find it. How do you find? Through your thought, in your feeling. And how long to find? Just like a house. If it's a big house, it's going to take some time. Keep doing, but you know it will be there. You desperately want it, you'll find. But when you say, choda alternate, I have something else, then you leave it and go. This is what people do. They leave, not knowing that the science is same. It works. It is there in the field as a possibility. I've got to continue to dream and imagine. Now, how long does it take? Not in your hand.
Absolutely.
Can you confirmly tell you if it's got a 10-bedroom house and it is some tiny thing somewhere, it is there, a golden pin? Can you tell how long will it take? It depends on how much is there. So here infinity is there. So we got to continue to visualize a dream and then meditate. And what meditation does is to accelerate it. One is focus on what you want. Second is visualize. So you're giving extra intention. Meditation, then of these infinite possibilities, where all you search in the home. The home has got like thousands of items. Where do you search? Which area to search? You sit down for meditation, you're trying to find keys, and suddenly some thing comes. Hey, go into that, it's not here, it's in the car glove box, go and search there. It gives you the clues, messages to shortcut the process. Okay? You are a student, you're trying to apply, and then you are like, you've got 50 targets because you don't know which one to apply. Right? And then you're doing. So if you meditate, then it may give you and say, hey, apply to this particular thing, this particular university. That's what happened to my daughter. And so apply to this university or that thing. And so then you go and then it shortcuts the process. Okay. A business leader is meditating and then he is trying to figure out which area to present very well to the client so that it is impressive. He's not able to make a big project, many things is given only 20 minutes. Which one to present so the client gets impressive? 20 minutes may have to present something very useful. So you're not sure, meditate, something will emerge. So meditation, when you're not sure, now who knows? The guy who has the big picture, consciousness has the big picture. It knows you, it knows the other group on the other side. And so the concept of events that are there already happening in past, future, present is all there simultaneously.
Okay.
It knows, somebody is above, it knows that okay, they all will be respond to something like this area. So it gives you the clue because that's your intention. The field is there, and I say the field, quantum energy field, consciousness is always paying attention to you and me to make us experience what we want because we are designed for that system. And so we ask and we patiently wait. So you there in meditation, you get those messages. Then you get, that's called intuition. We call that intuition. Intuitively something, in meditation you get a direct knowing a message. Otherwise, when you're writing a presentation, intuitively feel, oh, this must be really good. You feel that's intuition playing, consciousness playing through you. And these are developed greatly with meditation. So that means you can manifest faster, right?
Gee.
You keep looking, here you manifest faster. But time is control. So
yes. So one limitation that we should remove when it comes to manifestation is to think about the time
aspect of it.
Yes.
You don't put and say it has to be 3 months, 6 months. Now some people have this thing that admission means next year, it has to happen next year.
No.
Admission next year. Now is that true? Right now a student is graduating. Now the question you have to ask is, are you passionate about admission into that place? If you're passionate, like some people want really IAS officer, they go second time, third time, fourth time, then eventually they succeed. So if you're passionate, wait. If you're passionate about getting admission, if not this year, next year will come. You are just simply want a very top university without knowing why you want. That's where the thing comes. Why do you want to be in a top university? Why not top 10? Why did you fix that? Have clarity. Do you have why that? Why not top 10? Why top 10? Why not top 50? Do you have? Other than, everybody is saying top 10, but maybe that's not the right thing for you. Do you know what's right? So then you go into the next question. What is it that I want really? Meditation will give you answers. Saying that, okay, you based on your interest, this and that, now this is a place I want to live as opposed to the university because that place is going to get me to experience that nature there beautifully and so there. Okay. So time has to be left. Instead, we have to start looking for what is it important for me. When I'm asking for something in manifestation, most people miss that.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? So meditation gives you clarity.
So sir, now to bring an end to this wonderful podcast about meditation, you focus on breath meditation. And for any of my viewer who is watching this podcast and they want to begin their journey in meditation, or they are in the middle of the journey, or they want to advance, how can breath meditation help them? For the beginners, what is it exactly and how can they make it a part of their life?
Great. In fact, we will do a short meditation.
Sure. By the end
it is so easy. And so we'll do the meditation. The technique is 30 seconds.
Sure.
So the technique is simple. It is to rest the mind. Rest the body and mind. Right?
Can we do it right now?
Right now we can do. So I'll tell you the technique and we're going to do.
Okay.
So the goal of meditation is to, as we said, rest the body and mind. So for that, first we sit in a very comfortable posture. We don't need to go into a yoga mat. We can just be like this where you are, in a sofa, in a chair, or if you prefer on the floor, sit on the floor, right? Be there in that situation like this, be comfortable. So then, spine need not be erect, by the way.
Okay.
You can just rest your spine if there is more comfort to you.
Okay.
All right, so that's number one. Number two, the second thing is that we cross your feet at ankle, fingers into fingers, and then hands in your lap comfortably. Right. Anybody wearing spectacles, they remove the spectacles, not necessary. So there are three things we do, and close your eyes. This is the body posture. Just by doing it, we're already removing a lot of unnecessary distractions, number one. Number two, what we do is to now empty the mind. For this, we are attending to our breath, resting our attention anywhere on the nose. With your eyes closed, attend to your attention on your nose at a point, and then there you observe your breath going in and coming out, natural breath. So we are closing our eyes and then resting our attention on the nose, preferably in the middle of the eyebrows. We call it the third eye center, or anywhere on the nose. Put your attention there and notice your natural breath. No pranayama here, just natural breath. The way it's there, inhalation, exhalation is happening automatically. Observe it. And you observe your breath, your natural breath, slowly and slowly. Our thoughts are becoming lesser and lesser. We become calmer and calmer. And you be in that state of calmness, whatever that may be. If thoughts come and you notice thoughts are there, be with your breath. When thoughts are there, be with your breath. And as you observe the breath, slowly thoughts are coming down, mind is going to empty a state. Another 2 minutes. Be with your breath and allow yourself to notice the in-breath and the out-breath, and allow yourself to slowly go into that emptiness, the calmness, inside of you, all around you. If you notice thought that you are thinking, go back to observing the breath and slowly go into calmer states again. Final 1 minute. It is natural to have thought. So do not judge, be kind to yourself, and simply go back to observing the breath. Final 10 seconds. Observe the breath and allow yourself to slowly experience calmness, emptiness. Okay, please slowly keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and then you can open your eyes.
Wow. Everything seems clear.
Okay, this is the technique. It's seemingly very, very simple technique. Now it can be practiced by a 5-year-old onwards
Yes.
or somebody very seriously sick, ill. Observing the breath they can do.
Exactly. There was no pranayam, there was no deep breaths or anything, just normal, natural
Normal
breaths.
breath in a comfortable posture.
Yes.
If they're not able to sit, lie down and then do it. And eventually the body will support them to sit down. Sitting down is the ideal thing, but if they can't, it's okay. Lie down and do it.
True.
And then in due course, body will support based on the sincerity. First step, this is it. This is what Gautam Buddha taught. This is what Patriji taught. This is what many people in different forms are taking. Buddha Seva Foundation also taking significantly. But simple, and many say, just calmly sitting, doing nothing, how can it solve so many things? But the magic is there. The magic is in when you empty the mind, body gets regulated, goes into coherence. And when body is coherent, we're not interfering, it's an intelligent system.
Yes.
And so it'll heal itself. And then emotions, that pause comes, where we talked about. Mental abilities increase. There's a research by Harvard scientists, many of them, general research is there. First one, Sarah Laser, in 2005, neuroscience research to show that how meditation is increasing neural capacities. The brain has cells called neurons. Their capacity is significantly increased for long-term meditators. So that means your areas of the brain, the capabilities of the brain, or abilities of the brain are increasing.
Yes.
Right? So body heals, our abilities increase. That means you continue to read, write, synthesize, create, and many things that happen. Visualize, right? Consciously make decisions. That the emotions are getting better. So first, human life is greatly there. Then you get to other aspects of manifestation to be able to visualize and dream and get clues from there. Then you make most out of it. All right. So this simple practice lies in number one, resting the mind has significant benefits of the body and mind. Second, by resting the mind, you're going to connect with that field of energy. We spoke briefly, where infinite possibilities exist, and so you tune into them, right, and receive them. So both of them have happened through this simple technique.
And sir, if one does this meditation over a longer period of time, what would happen in their energy field? Like how would their energy be? Is what I want to end the podcast
End the
with.
podcast. So our thoughts and feelings are energy. And so people who regularly meditate come into more balanced, coherent state, peaceful, calm, more joyful. There's sufficient neuroscience research that says that when you meditate, a lot of good chemicals, feel-good hormones are produced. And so then you generally are in a good state of feeling. Now your feeling is good, your thoughts are good, the electromagnetic energy around you is always expansive and then it shows up beautifully. Everybody has an energy around them. You call it aura, you call it field, whatever, but it is there. And so a meditator is generally in a composed, calm state, thinking positive, always appreciative and all that. So have a good emotion. So good amount of energy around them. That's why when you are in company of meditators, you feel good because you are in a good energy around you, which is, if I have an appreciative energy, then you're sensing that appreciative energy, a high frequency energy. So that's what will happen for people, meditators. They are walking high energy, high emotion energy field, and so it rubs on to them, others around them. Okay. Wow. So if you are sulking and if you are angry, family members sense it because their energy field is that.
Exactly, they're connected to you.
Connected to you. But if you are joyful, they all say, oh, wow, you are doing so great. Okay, how come you are wonderful today? They also connect with you. That energy rubs depending on what we carry. So meditator generally is carrying a good high, we call it high vibration or higher emotion. Higher emotions, lower emotions are there. And so the higher emotion is what you go into, which are friendship, which is wholeness, oneness, blissfulness, adventure, love, kindness, compassion, gratitude, all of this.
So I'm sure, sir, that today my viewers will get the maximum benefit of this podcast and they will make meditation a regular part of their lives. At least that's what our intention was. Because you explained so beautifully the inner work that meditation does to you and how it can increase your energy field. So I'm so grateful that you joined us today and thank you so much for all your wisdom.
Thank you, Rangoli madam. You made it so simple. We are flowing and asking very random questions. So it made my job very, very easy. So thank you for asking some wonderful questions. I do feel that these techniques are simple. That's a very inclusive, irrespective. The technique we practice is no religion involved here. Everybody can do it. It's so simple that any age group can do it, right? And it is scientifically explained and understood. So then we don't feel that, okay, I'm practicing something, nothing. Everybody can go in. How long? About 10-year-old 10 minutes, 20-year-old 20 minutes, 30-year-old 30 minutes. Beyond that, generally if you do a half an hour practice, you're doing amazing for senior people. Youngsters, 15 minutes practice is just incredibly good, right? Mental health is beautifully created by meditation. Beautifully, because there's so much of negative thinking going on. Mental rumination is happening due to peer pressure and everything around the world, with all the events. People say, man, I don't know what's going on. You sit down and calm your mind, and then mind becomes strong, right? So many benefits are there. So thank you for having all these nice things and then getting this thing on.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
So you tell me in the comment section, how did you like today's podcast? And do let me know from which part of the world are you watching this podcast. Do you meditate regularly? How has meditation changed your life? What changes has it brought into your energy field? How it has strengthened your aura? How have you manifested things in your life through the help of meditation? Do let me know what wonders has meditation done to your life and what kind of meditation do you regularly follow? This is your host Rangoli Sharma. I'll keep bringing you such insightful discussions which will help you evolve in your spiritual journey. Also, do let me know in the coming podcast which more topics should we discuss with sir. I'll see you in another podcast. Namaste.